Hello everyone, Gaara here and welcome to a brand new deck tech video. Today I'm gonna talk about Midrange Murloc Paladin, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So today I wanna talk about 3 different lists. Actually, the reason why I'm featuring 3 lists in this video is because I couldn't decide which one to feature, because they had all fairly similar win rates when I was playing them. I started off with just one popular list with the highest win rate from HearthstoneReplays.net. I started off with like a fairly decent win rate. That is the deck in the middle, and the deck is very greedy. I would say it's the greediest list from the 3 lists, because it has the Lich King with the Scalamancer, which is very slow, and the Bone Mare. So the chance of not hitting the curve is like the highest with that deck, and I would actually recommend that deck if you're facing a meta where people don't play Spellbreaker and Black Knight. A lot of people start attacking that because of Lich King, but now a lot of people are cutting Lich King from their decks, so then people can start cutting, Black Knights from the deck, and if nobody's playing Black Knight, Lich King is good again. It's like always this vicious cycle. But when I started off playing, I was actually facing Spellbreaker and Black Knight, so my win rate went down, and then I switched into Mitsuhide's Paladin. My win rate went up, but not significantly, just because it's like a faster curve. It's better against aggressive decks. Cards like KoTFT are very good versus aggressive decks. It has more synergy. The Rallying Blade as well, and the Golakka Crawler is again very good if you're facing aggro druids and pirate warriors. But again, the list is slightly less greedy. The Scalamancer is actually very good versus other Murloc Paladins in the mirror, because you go Scalamancer into Spike Steed, and usually they don't run Silence, and then this is like very powerful, but it is not necessarily needed. Usually it comes down to who has the board before turn 5, so the Scalamancer will not bring you back in the game, but it's still like a nice card to have sometimes, but absolutely not needed. So if you're facing a lot of Spellbreaker, list without Scalamancer is definitely recommended. But then I switched to Hoej's list just to compare if it would perform better. My win rate went down a little bit, but also again not significantly. So I decided to just feature all 3 lists because they are all different. And again, Hoej's list has the Curator, like he likes to run. It's very nice versus aggressive decks because it has the Primordial Drake and the Consecration. It's the only deck that has board clear. But yeah, Mitsuhide's list is also pretty good versus aggressive decks because it goes for Wicker Flame, Burn Bristler and Corpse Taker, but it doesn't really have actual board clear, so it's just a different approach in dealing with aggressive decks. But Hoej's list has a little bit more resources because of the Curator. You can refresh your hand, but usually it doesn't really come down to outvaluing your opponent, just because of the power of Bone Mare and Tyrion. So if you're facing, I guess, Big Priest, probably Hoej's list would do a little bit better, but overall, just the greediest list would do better. So all 3 lists are fairly similar. I'm pretty sure if I would do like 100 games of all the lists, I could actually see which is the best one. I personally like the Grimscale Chum, just because it oftentimes just comes down to hitting the 1-drops when you go first, and having an additional 1-drop in your list definitely increases. Probably the very best list would be a mix of all 3, where you still include the Grimscale Charm, but probably you don't run the board clears, but like the Divine Shield minions, I don't know, those just felt really strong at times when you were ahead on the board, especially against Jade Druid. Jade Druid is not that bad versus Murloc Paladin, just because you have a lot of great defensive tools and a lot of ramp and stuff, but Divine Shield is very powerful against Jade Druid. The thing is, there's not too much to say about Murloc Paladin, just because so many different cards are core. The entire Murloc package is core, plus Tyrion and Double Bone Mare I would consider core as well, and Tarim and the Spike Steed. It's just so many cards, so there's very few things I would say you can play around. So there's around like 4 to 5 flexible cards. But yeah, even if you change them and replace them with other good cards, like there's also Bolvar that you can run technically, which is also not bad. Instead of the Scalamancer, it's a little bit stronger versus Silence. But yeah, overall the lists were performing very similarly. So I would rate the Archetype tier 1.5, and I'm actually very happy with that rating. I've been streaming the Archetype the whole day on my stream, and I was also talking with people about like how would they rate this Archetype, and a lot of people would rate it tier 2, a lot of people would rate it tier 1. I can see arguments for both. Tier 1 because it is the second most played deck on the ladder. Druid is like the second most played class on the ladder. Druid by far the most, and Paladin is second, and so you kind of have to adjust to both classes. Druid is by far the most played archetype or class, and Jade Druid is in my opinion the strongest deck in the game, or the strongest archetype in the game, and just because of the overall power level. And I don't think that the Murloc power level is as high as Jade Druid, but I feel like it's still stronger than tier 2. This is why I decided to go for tier 1.5. I think it's perfect for it because of Hungry Crab. Hungry Crab, I think if you have a tier 1 deck, you can't just auto-lose to one tech card. Druid definitely doesn't auto-lose to Skulking Geist, and this would be a very similar tech card against Druid as the Crab for Paladin, but Druid has like great tools to, you know, Skulking Geist is much slower, and you might just win through tempo. But if your opponent hits a Hungry Crab on, let's say, a Murloc that is buffed by Kings, or just on your World Leader, or just on turn 1, you most likely will lose the game because you have no comeback. And rating a curve deck that doesn't have any comeback tools tier 1 is really ballsy. It's still very, very, very powerful. This is why I want to go above tier 2. Also, it's like the only legit counter to Jade Druid, which is the strongest deck. So I would rate this tier 1.5, and that's my reasoning for it. And yeah, the reason why I didn't quite make tier 1 is only because of the existence of Hungry Crab and how it changes the game. And I'm also gonna show you some gameplay now. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll be back in a second.
Versus Anduin.
You usually full mulligan for a 1-drop, but I know it is a slow matchup. Stonehill Defender would be actually a nice keep. I think you still mulligan it away and try to find the 1, 2, 3. If you find a Tidecaller into a Rockpool Hunter into War Leader, that's just the nuts. So you're just trying to find the nuts, especially when you go first. When you go second, it's a little bit different. Then you want to keep a wider range of cards, but when you go first, you wanna go for the nuts. This is like just, I had only one play turn 1, one play turn 2. It's definitely better than Hero Power. You could go for Potion of Madness here. And this is like, buffing it is just so crazy. Definitely going for the War Leader here. And buffing this guy, turning this guy. Going face for 5. You could technically def it.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, that's like the God Curve going first. Now the best here would be Divine Shield. That's like GG almost. But yeah, we can play around Dragonfire Potion, going for the health. It's very early in the game, so +3 attack would also be extremely powerful. Let me see. But since I can keep my Tidecaller alive, this is still extremely powerful because he can't kill my War Leader. He needs Arcanized Circle just to stay alive.
You have been.
And yeah, this is actually, this game is actually Murloc Paladin in a nutshell. This is like the optimal game. You go first, you hit the turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, you win in every matchup. And against aggressive decks you want the weapon, and against control decks, yeah, you just want to hit the curve. If you go second, you're by default in a disadvantage, and if you don't hit the curve, you're most likely gonna lose as well. So if you're winning, it kind of looks like this. If you're losing, it looks like you're not hitting the curve. And that's it for today's deck tech video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I'll be back tomorrow with another one. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys tomorrow. Peace!